Good evening and welcome to BBC London. Also coming up on the programme this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Luxmy Gopal. Drivers say they've experienced intimidation and harassment from debt collection firms over fines they believe were issued in error after using the Dartford crossing. It's part of a BBC London investigation which found that private enforcement firms have been used to claim more than £100 million in debt over the past 5 years from people using the crossing. National Highways, the government agency responsible, says 95% of crossings are paid on time and cases are only referred to enforcement agencies as a last resort. Our investigations reporter Charlotte Rose has been to meet some drivers affected. And if this story has resonated with you and if you're going through similar problems with the DART charge, then we're still plenty more to come on the programme, including, well, as we've been hearing, Donald Trump has pulled off an historic political comeback, securing enough votes to return the Republican Party to the White House. His win has had a mixed response here in London, with the Mayor, Sadiq Khan, saying many in the capital will be worried about the impact on democracy, human rights and tackling the climate crisis. Alpa Patel has this report. Well, let's take a quick look at some of the day's other news now. Next tonight. Good work is good for your health. Those were the words of the Work and Pension Secretary Liz Kendall today. She joined the Health Secretary Wes Streeting looking at a scheme called Work Well, which is being piloted in Islington in North London. It's designed to get more people who've been off sick for a while back to work, or better still, prevent them going sick in the first place. Here's our political editor, Tim Donovan. Now, have you ever got on the tube, seen a seat free, but given it a miss because it looked in, well, less than pristine condition? I'm guilty of that. Well, a video posted on social media has highlighted just how much dirt could be lurking in some seats on the Underground. The video was filmed on the Northern Line by a London cleaning firm as part of a publicity stunt. We'll speak to the man behind the footage in a moment, but before we show you the video, I must point out Transport for London says stunts like that could put staff and passengers at risk. And a warning, if you're having your dinner, you might want to look away for the next few seconds or so. From members of the public, from other people. That was way more than I could have imagined, but obviously there was an outcry, which is... London can take a leaf out of New York's book in that their subways have plastics. TfL asked you to take the video down as it wasn't filmed with their permission, and they say that it's potentially dangerous and puts people at risk. But would you like to see them do anything differently following on from this video? Stephen James there. Well, TfL told us in a statement. Now, as a baby, Johnny Bayamungu's parents were told he wouldn't live. But now, at 20 years old, he's gone on to win a bronze medal in the Transplant Football World Cup, a rare condition that affects the abdominal muscles and can affect the kidneys, called prune belly syndrome, meant that after years of poor health, he needed a transplant, which he says transformed his life. It meant he was able to get back to playing football and was selected to represent England in this year's Transplant World Cup. This from our health correspondent, Carl Mercer. Johnny Bayamungu there, and so great to hear from him. And speaking of inspirational stories, it's Children in Need a week on Friday. And just a reminder that the team from BBC Radio London are still putting in the lengths in the pool as part of the Children in Need 1000. Now it's time for a look at the weather forecast with Louise Lear. Louise, it does feel like it's turned a little bit, hasn't it? We had a strangely mild few days, and now... look at the gloom behind you. It is gloomy, but the temperature's still reasonably promising. Thank you, Louise. A bit less gloom, a bit more sun. Thank you. That's it from me. I'll be back with your late news at just after 10:30. Goodbye.